We're recording. Let me hear some voices.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 test.
Yeah, I like that.
Check. You got the thing going?
Yeah, we're recording. Steve, give me a little bit more.
Holy moly.
Grieco.
Yo, testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 testing. This is my voice.
Yeah, we'll turn that up a little bit for Sleepy Greeks.
Sleepy Greeks.
Grieco, you like the Doobie Brothers?
I don't really listen to them. I
But
feel like I should though. Like all my old man-ness.
You're a classic rock guy, though.
Big into it, so I feel like guilty saying no to.
We got Action Cam 5. Come taking a look at us.
They
Go check out what these boys are doing on the roof over there at the Marina Towers.
We got an active podcast situation.
I do want it to be known that when we were up here setting up, the maintenance guy just like came up to make sure we weren't like doing anything wrong, and like sadly saw the dumb thing that we were doing, just walked away to report back that there's no threat happening on the roof.
Unfortunately, it's worse than bad. They're podcasting, sir.
I think he wanted to be a guest.
Yeah?
That might have been what broke him.
I bet he could give solid relationship advice.
Yeah.
I saw it in his eyes. He goes, only 3 mics? Not one for Vladimir? I guess I go downstairs and check pool.
All I ever do is maintain.
I'm sick of maintaining.
In mother country, I was neuroscientist. I come here, I can't even get 4 seat on podcast on rooftop.
I've kept that chair in business for 15 years you're sitting on.
Where I come from, podcast mic, second chair podcast mic belongs to whoever's strong enough to take it.
Would you Americans and your rules?
Here, you are weak. And because your podcast suffers.
In old country, I throw you off roof.
Entertainment brought by strongest man.
I like that.
It used to be in tribal villages. The strongest men would get together and podcast.
I feel like podcasts would be better if there were more gladiator rules associated with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the strongest podcast wins.
Yeah.
Use
I'll
violence.
tell you, I'd have a seat on the podcast every week.
You fucking muscle them out every week. All right. Eric Emerson back for the 7th episode in a row.
Return guest.
Christine, can you get a mop to get some of that blood off the floor? All right, thank you.
Probably period blood.
Probably period blood, am I right, ladies?
Right,
Go
guys.
for the high five, never gets it.
No,
All right.
yeah. Nobody
Anyway,
ever gets it.
Here's the topics that I'm bringing. Go to a podcast and just decide what they're doing. All right. We're gonna be doing
I kinda
questions.
like that.
We're gonna be doing questions. We don't do that here. It's like, oh, well, you do now. Okay.
Everywhere I go becomes an advice, a submit your own advice podcast. I don't even bring a particularly masculine energy. I just force people off mic, and then I go, all right, I got a question. My girlfriend said this, and this. What would you do in that situation? You kicked me in the groin. We're here with Chris Grieco. Chris?
Oh, hi guys. This is the intro. Hi.
Yeah.
Here
I
with
mean,
me.
we are. It's all going to be part of the
This whole
Hi.
thing's an intro.
I'll probably
Hey,
bleep
everybody.
out the thing.
I was gonna say, dude, if you leave that in, I have a lot of respect for your commitment.
I might. No one will ever see it.
No one will ever see it, except for the ladies at podcast. In that
Yeah.
case, you may have some trouble brewing. But hi, I am Chris.
might
Thank you
add
for having me.
Yeah.
Nobody will
Chris
see it except for you and Vladimir.
Our loyal listener.
I am one of 30 subscribers. And you don't have me on show?
I make 2 accounts subscribe. I like every reel.
We're here. This is actually the Flight Report podcast. We're here to check out the conditions.
We're up on the top of beautiful Marina Towers in Chicago.
Yeah, Steve, you do look like a flight. You look like you're the guy in the fucking tower. Like those glasses.
Steve, look
and that
directly
hat.
into the camera right
You
there.
look like Yoko Ono if she survived on nothing but blood.
The problem with Steve
Damn,
is he
Grieco stonewalled you on that one.
He keeps going. The problem is he keeps bringing up the Chris Grieco is a vampire bit, which is a very fun bit, but doesn't
problem.
explain to the audience that is the bit.
Here's the problem with that. There is no audience.
32 isn't nothing, Steve. We built this empire
Those are Russian bots.
with our
I deploy 29 Russian bots to get your following up.
Making black market dealings.
Advice so bad it's misinformation.
No, I do feel like these make me look like a pilot.
You look
a
good.
little bit too much. These are the first sunglasses I've ever spent any money on. Everything else is $4 pairs.
How much you just drop on those bad boys?
These were $1,500. No, they weren't. These are just, they were like 100 something.
Yeah, they look nice.
They are nice.
You already did kind of look like Goose.
It was at a sunglass hut. They're at a sunglass hut.
Yeah.
And here's the craziest part about
In
it.
Hawaii?
No, in the exotic lands of Niles, Illinois.
Whoa.
What took you out to Niles?
next to the Leaning Tower of Niles. Is anyone familiar with the Leaning Tower of Niles? Out of you two?
No.
It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Niles,
Nice.
a suburb of Chicago.
Is it a perfect
Which I say
remake?
more beautiful than Italy.
Pizza's just as good. It's made with water straight out of the Chicago River.
Yeah, we get it. This shit over here is old and rustic and there's history, but have you seen the 4-bedroom, 3 baths out in Niles?
You wouldn't believe the basil Monsanto sprouting up over here. You could swaddle a baby in these goddamn leaves.
You ever been to the Walmart in Skokie?
Oh boy, you haven't lived until you went up to Skokie for your shopping experience.
The Safeway over there has got a Mott's that'll knock your socks off. Just an Italian, a local Illinois Italian.
So what were you saying? Oh, I bought these from Sunglasses Hut. The guy I bought them from, one very, very lazy eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold them to me.
What made him? How do you know?
How do I know he had a lazy eye?
Oh, I thought you said he was a very lazy guy.
No.
There was a guy on Clubhouse last night.
Why would I assume that?
Do you know a blind?
Because it took him a while to get you the
Yeah,
glasses.
I thought you were like.
He was meandering around in the back. Like, I've been here 20 minutes
Chop
waiting
chop.
for these glasses.
How are you avoiding me? It's a kiosk.
He had a lazy eye, and people say they're all lazy, but
There's
He had a
people.
lazy aye.
Oh, he had a lazy eye caramba. But
no, so he sold me on them.
Yeah?
And I said, "You sold me."
What was the pitch?
It was a sale. You made a sale. I've walked out of here twice before in my life.
You put your hand on his shoulder. You go, buddy. I want you to know it may not feel like it. You just made a sale. You ever thought about a career in sales? I'm here in Niles scouting talent. I'm starting a 100% commission, 110% commission. I pay you more money than you bring in. How does that sound?
I said, "You sold me."
that's
I
amazing.
came in. I wasn't gonna buy. You sold me.
That's impressive. I would never take Steve as a mark for a glasses salesman, but I
Yeah.
will say I don't hate your decision. They look really good.
They
were
really
the first
frame.
thing
They
that I
frame your
noticed.
face. They go with the angles, the contours of the face. This is a fashion podcast. Now.
Somebody said that. They said you need a bigger one of the. I went to 2 Sunglasses Huts that day, and the first one was like.
The first guy laughed me out. He said nothing will ever frame your.
He
peanut
almost
head."
sold me. He almost sold me.
What was his grave mistake? What was the thing that
It was
you were
inside
giving
of a
him notes?
Macy's. There was just too much going on. It was like a I don't respect a satellite location.
I really like
Environmental.
salesman Steve, where the guy goes, and you know what? These are going to block about 99% of the light. He goes, let me stop you right there. You made a fatal mistake in sales. Nobody wants 99% of the UV light blocked.
Dude,
I'll come back. I'm going to go try another Sunglasses Hut. If they don't sell me, I'll come back here. You try again.
I'm not into even
Sales
buy
predator,
sunglasses.
Steve.
I'm into buy the sales experience.
Yeah. You just want to be wined and dined.
Yeah.
You go, how about when do you get out? How about you meet me at a Potbelly? We talk sunglasses. I'll come back in here tomorrow.
See, the problem is you're not selling the sunglasses. You're selling you. That's what you need to understand about
Why
this.
do I need to buy these?
Make me trust you.
Dude, I love it. It's a dying art. Now it's like cliche to be an overbearing salesman.
Yeah.
It's like being a waiter or something.
Yeah, sales lost its edge.
You know,
Have
the
you
art
done
of being
sales?
a waiter.
You ever done sales? You ever had to do it?
No, I would fucking. I feel like I could be good, but I would also hate it.
Yeah.
Same.
I almost
interviewed-
sold cars. I was very close to selling cars at one point.
Yeah.
Car salesman Steve is so fun.
Cars.
It's a fun
No, it was
idea.
cars on DVD.
I almost sold.
I found out I had a
cars.
2-tray burner. I could burn them for $4 a pop and then sell them.
I
Hey.
cut the commercials out myself. I ripped these straight from PBS.
Can you do Finding Nemo? I specifically do cars.
I do
And
cars.
its sequels.
But I mean, you're not getting a better cars. When you come to
No,
car
thank you. I'm not
salesman.
really into Pixar. It's Pixar's best. It's Cars.
Look, a lot of people who don't like horror still enjoyed Get Out. A lot of people who hate Pixar like Cars. Give it a chance. I know what you're thinking. There's going to be a princess. There's going to be talking animals. It's all Cars.
Main guy's name is Lightning McQueen. How much more do you need to know?
Fade in. Racetrack. Year, it doesn't matter. They're all cars.
His best friend, not a fast car like the rest of his friends, tow truck. Tow truck, guys.
I mean, can you think of a more at odds pair? What wacky adventures will they go on?
Let me ask you something. You got kids at home? I'm just asking you a question. You got kids at home, or is it just you?
Now,
you babysitting?
I love when a sales guy gets like, he tries to reel you in on like, I'm a cool guy.
Yeah.
I get phone calls all the time, like you get junk phone calls.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, I heard you signed up for trying to find a new place on, like some spam. And it's always like a sales guy. And once in a while I'll be like, no, and can I ask you how you got my fucking number on this thing? Can you just like delete it off the thing?
Yeah.
Because I feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
Every time you guys call, I got to be like, I don't want it, bye, or ignore it. Or you know what I mean? Because sometimes you pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit me with the like, but what's going? It doesn't make sense. Like, are you just not interested in like getting something better? Or, like he like brought it in. And I'm like, you're not gonna turn me.
Now, Steve, listen, if you were a talking tow truck, who would do your voice? Let's say you're in casting. What do you think a tow truck would sound like? You, I don't know, probably kind of southern, maybe like a Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, I used to do cold calls. I used to have to call people.
Shit.
That was like one of my first office job was I was doing cold calls and data entry. So it was like a data entry position where we basically like had to fill out a bunch of people's like outdated info, and we had to ask them extremely personal questions. Like that was my job, is to get like their credit card number and their social security number. Swear to God.
Who was this for?
It was literally the biggest nightmare of a cold call
what
job.
Shell company was that?
Ironically,
what's my job? You need to get their social.
Ironically, it was a Shell company. I was calling for Shell gas station, and that's not a joke.
Is that true?
I was calling for Shell fuel cards.
Holy cow!
And they had like a bunch of like gas cards that needed updating information. So you would call like old like families that used to own like a fuel pump station in the middle of Alabama.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, hey, listen, hi, I'm Chris Grieco of Shell, doing the fuel car. And they'd be like, I want you to fuck your mother. And I'm like, okay, it's been nice. And then you would just go on to the next one, make it 100 calls a day minimum. And you were just doing that. Yeah.
You would make 100?
Yeah.
Dial 100?
Yeah, dial 100 minutes. That was the goal every day.
I worked in a call center, but no, go ahead.
How many out of the 100 do you think answered? Would you say?
You had, I would say, for that specific
even just
campaign,
just pick up the phone.
for that campaign, I was probably like 40. So
you think like
would
a little
answer?
under half answer?
About half to a little under that.
And then of that percentage, how many were like, yeah, when they answered the phone?
Oh, angry?
In that energy, like.
Yeah, here's the best part. With salespeople, for people who don't understand how it works, like you hear a bunch of tricks like tell them take me off your list, and they have to. No, they don't. I mean, technically they were supposed to, but like I was a guy with a list calling people. People would tell me all the time, take me off the list, and I would just mark, I've called them once. I have 2 more times, and my boss won't yell at me now because I can present that I called them 3 times. It doesn't matter. So the thing that you should know though, have fun with them if they're actually a piece of shit calling you, because they might submit it to what is called call review. Every week we would do call review, and we would submit our best and our worst call of the week. Now, the best part is because I didn't really care about the job at the time, I would always submit the funniest like people that were like screaming at me. And I submitted one, and I can't believe I did this. My boss came up to me and was like, never submit this kind of call ever again, where I started getting angry and getting in an argument with the guy back. Like we were both arguing with each other. This dude, I was like, hey, listen, I was being reasonable. I was like, hey, listen, we just need your thing to update your information. And he was like, you know what? Your fucking company, man. You guys are just pieces of shit. You guys are pieces of shit. Thief, piece of, and you're calling me during my fight. I was like, yes, sir, I know, I'm so sorry, sir. And, and at some point, that energy, it'll break your roboticness.
Yeah.
It will break. If you're in robot mode, whatever job you're working, someone just calling you a piece of shit over and over. Dude, I fucking broke, dude. I was like, you know what, dude? I don't own the fucking company, right?
And they're recording you this whole time?
Oh, the whole thing's recorded. I submitted it to call review.
Every call gets recorded?
Every call was recorded, but, sometimes if it was extremely bad, I would delete them. But this one was too funny. I was like, I don't own this company, right? He's like, yeah, but you're calling me. I'm like, yeah, that's because the CEO doesn't make fucking cold calls. Calling. I was like, they hire
That's
people.
a great line.
They hire people that work for minimum wage like me to get yelled at by people like you. Now, are you gonna give me the fucking info or not?
What did he say?
He goes, it was like that kind of angry apology, like, I know you're not. I know you're not the guy that's messing with the thing, but I would appreciate. If you're a company, I'm like, not my company, dude. It's not. And I was like, listen, I'm gonna take you off the list, not because you asked, but because this is just unpleasant. I don't like this at all. So, yeah, have a good day. And then I fucking hung up, and I was like, whew, that was unprofessional. And here's the thing, we were at it was like an open concept like office, so like I had people. It was just one long desk, and there was a bunch of people, and like both of the people next to me just like looked at me. It was like, dude, what the fuck was that called? I was like, that was just a rough one. I'm gonna walk this off in the coffee room.
My worst. You said to submit my worst.
I submitted it, but it was the best part was like people were like all the people that were like doing the job, all of the employees that also have to make cold calls, they were laughing. Like we were all laughing at how funny it was. But the two like managers that were running the call thing were both like, okay, so your first mistake, you lashed out at the customer, right? You're not supposed to.
Chris, can we pause right there?
Let's rewind. Rewind about 13 seconds. I want to hit my first note. You said I'm going to find your mom. I'm going to fuck her in her
filthy,
in her, and I'm not going to
hole.
Chris, why did you say filthy twice?
Filthy hole.
This is sales 101, and you don't use the same word twice. It dilutes the legitimacy of your pitch. You're using the same word twice.
I can't say it's exactly explicit, but it is jarring.
You're painting a picture that's not bringing him into the vision that Shellcore has for its gas sales.
We got to let you go. Filthy hole was too far.
I got to put you on
Look,
1 month.
I can't cite it in the literature here, but I think there's a line in the same. You can't see it, but you know when you cross it.
You got a filthy hole. I got a filthy hole.
Look, we've all fucked a customer's mom in her filthy, filthy hole. None of us tell the customers about that because it looks bad when it comes time for reviews like this. It looks bad. It makes me look bad. I got to run this up the flagpole.
Chris, I'm looking at the transcript
I'm not looking forward to the conversations I have to have.
What do you think my boss thinks when I got guys out here calling customers and telling them they got filthy holes?
Chris, I'm looking at the transcript here. You said, quote, "You sound Asian." She says, she says yes. You go, "That's hot." Care to explain how this has anything to do with the Shell Gas Station Initiative?
I'll tell you how. I need to be motivated to work here. You guys pay me shit.
That's why. So was it open concept, and there was how many folks in? I've never worked in an office like that.
It was a company that only did sales. They were an outsourced sales company. So like other like big companies that didn't want to invest in their own sales team, that's expensive. Whatever, you got to get all their benefits and everything. You hire an outside sales company. They're like, you're our sales team. Here's all the stuff about the product. Here's the thing that we're trying to do. And you
like
sell
a
for us.
Third-party sales force.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so, so everyone was selling. It was like it was like lame Wolf of Wall Street. That's what it was. Like everyone was like making. If you won,
Coyote
you
of Wall Street.
The Chihuahua of Wall Street.
Chihuahua of Wall Street.
Yeah,
of State
Gasoline
Street.
of Wall Street.
and you get in there and you get in the mindset of it a little bit of like the more sales you get, the more money you get. You're paying on commission. So yeah, and then I worked my way there for a while and had a few clients.
Did I tell you guys about working about the Tribune when I was an intern there?
No.
I was not an intern. I was a temp for the
Chicago
department.
Tribune?
The Chicago Tribune. I was a temp there for like 8 months before it It was supposed to be temp to hire, and I was not brought on full time.
And let me tell you, I remain temporary.
I was as temporary as can be. There was a lot of funny things about that, but the job was, so there's like all these outdated laws that were put in place when newspaper was like a viable form of dispersing information that have never been taken off the books. So if you get divorced, if you buy or sell property or something like that, at least if you list a house, if you list an estate after somebody dies, whatever, there's still all these laws that say you have to post something in the newspaper. Like legally, you have to declare it in the paper so that the world is given like a fair shot at knowing that your house is on the market or something like that. It's all from like the 1910s.
In the newspaper.
Yes.
It has to go into
legally,
the
you
newspaper.
have to put it in the newspaper.
Every house
Still?
that
Yes.
Every house it sells?
No, forget that. It's just there's I know I think divorce was one of them. It might have been property like over a certain value or property in a certain location. I don't know what the stipulation was. Anyway, so I was both data entry for like I had to prep the ads to go in because they have to be like as bare bones as possible because no one reads them. So you have to squeeze like as many into the paper as possible. So I both had to like enter the information to formulate the article, and I had to take incoming calls of people being like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but fucking they told me I gotta put in the paper that my dad died and his house is going on the market. So like, you know, here's the house, here's the address, whatever." And most of the time it was very boring and I wasn't very motivated or good at it. One time a lady called in. I got her twice. She called in thinking she had reached like the tip number for the Chicago Tribune. And she had like a story that like she was like, this goes all the way to the top. I can't get in touch with my alderman, and I know it's because he's got his fingers in like
Dude,
That's freaky.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
like a paranoid schizophrenic somewhere.
What was
just
the
falling off
what was the story? That's what
I wish I
needed.
could. I wish I could tell you. I don't think she ever explained the whole thing. It was just like she'd call and she'd be like, "Is this the Tribune?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is the Tribune." Like legal. It was like legal ads is the name of the department or something like that. And she was like, "Okay, so I gotta let somebody know that I've started to notice like these trends, whatever." And she started breaking it down like, you know, I don't know if you know, there's 72 neighborhoods and they all have. Look, if there's this amount of money going in this direction, there's got to be somebody
Did it
tying all.
sound valid?
I don't think she never strung enough coherent points together, but also it might have been because she was trying to get to. She might have been trying to give me the soft pitch to put, and I was like, I have no one to patch you through to.
That's so funny.
And it was another one of the things, like you said, where the managers are frustrated because I'm pretty loudly being like, no, I can't help you. No, I don't know if he's paying to put his secretary
Look,
up.
man, I
in
know
another
the
location.
Whopper and the Big Mac are basically the same thing. But
I don't think the city's
they're
involved.
affiliated or anything.
And I'm doing it loud enough to get the other like salespeople.
I was like, what's the scam that she's
Yeah.
thinking, like,
ma'am, no, listen, no, I haven't seen the report that they're putting fentanyl in the green dye they put into the river. So I haven't seen that.
Even if they did, I don't know if it matters if the fish are addicted. I don't know
Look,
if that's
ma'am,
gonna be.
we know the plumbers union is responsible for putting the dye into the river. That's well done. They're plumbers.
Where do I think the
They
dye
deal
is
with
coming
water.
from? I don't know. I've never even once considered it. I don't know. You want me to patch you through to the police detectives that you think are going to put this? They're going to break this. I really wish I could remember the story, but I did this. Well, the managers were like they were like, Eric, you got to stop. Like, don't stop taking her calls. Stop letting her through or whatever. But every time I took it, like the salespeople around would laugh because I would just kind of like loudly lean back in the chair and be like, "No, I don't know. No, I don't know. No, the mayor's not stopping us from running this. I don't think it's coming from the mayor's office that this can't go in the paper. I'm not the one who would help you with that."
Oh, dude, that's the one thing about working like in a team.
Yeah.
Is making the people like having fun with like the people you work with is the best part. Like anytime I think about working at like a Jimmy John's, like your first jobs or whatever, I do think of the funny times of just like, oh yeah, we're sneaking off in the back freezer and smoking vapes in the back freezer and like listening to music or whatever. I remember one time at that job. This is all right. So I was working at
the statute of limitations up.
I feel bad. She's a nice lady, but I'm about to kind of throw her under the bus here. But I was working there, and there was a girl that I worked with, and I've mentioned this in my act before, but it was all like white people.
Yeah.
And there was like one dude that worked there that was black and like really like hot and cool, and this girl had what could only be described as a a fervent appreciation of the jungle. Now, so it was the talk of the fucking cubicles. Like, we all like were pointing out how funny it was that she like wouldn't only she always talked to him, was always around him, and there was a project that was like they both were like put themselves in charge of this project where it was a calendar for the year.
Yeah.
You know, like some companies will do that, like, oh, February, and it's like, you know, the
sorry, remember how many inches are in February?
So like everyone's taking like photo shoots of each fucking month of the year, and her photo shoot she come up to me because I made the mistake of they found out that I can do Photoshop. So she's like, I need your help with this thing I want to do. I'm like, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to. Are you?
I'm gonna keep going. I'm just fucked. Dude, my ass is fucked up.
I know, dude. It's hurt. I'm on the stippled. We're on stippled fucking garage floor ground right here.
I got hemorrhoids, so this is perfect. I'm like,
you're like a dog rubbing yourself on the carpet.
This was this texture so you don't slip. Where'd you get it? I'm gonna paint this on the wall.
I'm like a bear in Jungle Book.
Yeah. You're gonna talk to Vladimir. I was seeing what coat he uses for the fucking roof up here.
Dude, I did hot yoga.
Yeah.
For the first time. Have either of you guys done this?
No.
I have.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you?
Oh, we got to get to the end of the black dick story real quick. And
Sorry,
then
we'll talk hot yoga. I'm down to talk hot yoga. Anyway, I'll make it quick.
The beer?
I'll make it quick. But she was like, I need your help. Here's the idea. I want let's call him Brock or something. I forgot his name. So I want Brock. He's gonna be on a throne. I'm not making it. This is not me exaggerating anything.
For the calendar.
For this company. I need to be next to him as a lioness. And he's gonna have his hand on the head of the lioness. And I want you to Photoshop my face on the lioness.
And this is for a calendar?
For a calendar for the company. And I was like, yeah, I can help you out with it.
I can probably knock that out in a day.
So, dude.
February is sexual tension month here at the office. And,
dude, so I'm like, so she would like constantly.
Will not be allowed. Unfortunately, we have to institute a no sweatpants option for the office. Look, we know we want to be laid back, but
specifically rows E through D, not allowed to be coming in. Anyway, so she would be coming to my seat all the time to like give me notes, and so she'd come over there. Can you change this? And she was really nitpicky about like make sure his hand is here and put it. And she would be talking normally. Then she's like, now it's time to show Brock.
Yeah.
So then she brought Brock over, and like keep in mind, like it's the open concept. There's like a bunch of people around, and I was a bit perturbed at like having to do.
Did he know
bullshit.
This was happening?
I don't think he knew the extent of it. I think she was excited to show him her idea of this thing. Like he would look all cool or whatever. And he kind of knew because he had to take the picture. Like he was gonna be sitting somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like she comes over, dude. She code switched harder than I've ever heard any. She went from "Can you move his hand here?" to so here's what I was thinking of. So Brock, so you's gonna be on the throne, right? And then I'm gonna be the lioness right here, right? And I go, I swear to God, I was so mad at her at this point because the whole day she was like taking me from my work to work on this insane thing, and I was like, why are you talking to him so cool right now?
Yeah.
And she goes, what you talking about? And I was like,
That's how I always talk.
she's like, dude, she is like a 40-year-old white woman. And I was like, when you were over here just talking to me, oh, nerdy Chris, I get the nerd voice. Oh, please move his hand here. The second Brock's here, all of a sudden, all right, so here's what we're going to be doing. Am I not cool enough as Brock to get the thing? Dude, I felt bad because she's like mortified.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to do this, but what you talking about, Willis? Like, dude, that's just like corporate fucking.
I'm getting too old for this shit. Dude, and then Brock, me and Eric talk about this a lot, is when the black dude gives you the thumbs up for the thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Dude, he gave me a fist bump because he knows.
Yeah.
You know, he gave me a fist bump. Everyone else is like quiet, but like, you know, doing And she's like, she's like, I don't know. Anyway, the thing, whatever. She kind of freaks out. She yells at me later. She gets very upset at me later. The second they leave the cubicle, all of the 3 people that were around me swivel on their chairs and go, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" What was that? I was like, I couldn't help it, dude. I couldn't help it.
It has to be said.
She's a lioness. His hand is. They're like, I know, but dude, that was crazy. I was like, dude, it has to happen.
Emily
So,
Dickinson.
Mamma mia, she wants it at BBC.
she wanted that spicy meatball. She really did. Anyway, sorry.
The office
that's
just fucking lifts you up.
Yeah.
Carries you out.
I'm a hero. I was crowned king.
Yeah.
He allowed me to say the N-word for 2 months. He gave me 2 months back. They give you. It's printed out. It's an official ledger. They give
At least at Shell Corporation, it's an official.
I do have it in writing.
Yeah, it was notarized by the Shell notary.
Yeah, unfortunately, that last call that got me kicked off was 2.5 days past the expiration for the pass. I didn't realize.
I hate to get you on a technicality, Chris, but 2 days passed.
What? I told Brock, I filed a deferral with Brock. I checked in with Brock. He told me that I could file a deferral.
Okay, well, did Brock send in the proper paperwork? No. So now
No.
what am I going to do here?
Look at me. You know Brock didn't send in the proper paperwork.
Oh, dude. Anyway,
He was too busy
sales team.
turning over Sarah down in the basement. Did I tell? Oh, that was another thing about the Tribune. Is that
Did I tell you about Sarah?
Oh wait, tell us about hot yoga. It's not.
Have you done it? You've
yeah,
done it?
yeah, a couple times.
Couple times.
Yeah, Lily started.
Twice?
Lily got into it, and I got like a free month membership. So I did it like 3 or 4
In town
times.
here?
Yeah, at
What-
Core Power Yoga.
Core Power. Did you do it near your house? See, I was kind of like, I didn't know what to expect, so I was like, I'm going. I
think
don't
I
want to
went
see
to-
the neighbors here.
I went to like 2 or 3 locations. It was just whichever one had like a appointment I could make.
Did you go together or you went solo?
I think I went twice together and twice by myself.
Twice together? First time together?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wild.
It seems like a hot couple thing to do.
That's a hot couple activity
Oh, yeah.
for sure. It's a very hot room, too.
Yeah. Temperature.
Let me tell you, 105 degrees.
You become a hot couple if you stick with it. I unfortunately just did the month free trial.
Here's my whole theory on hot yoga is that the only reason it's hot was so they could stop people from fucking in there. They're like, turn the heat up. Everyone's in tight-fitting clothing and just fucking looking at each other.
In a room full of mirrors.
It's
There's
so hot that
No
you-
angle.
If
Not-
like the odds of me getting a boner in a room that's 105 while like it was the most vigorous exercise I've ever done.
No shit.
I thought I was gonna die. You made
It's-
it through the whole time?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know if mine was 105.
You tapped out?
Dude.
I didn't
They
know
do
you
them
were
at different.
quitters,
Some
dude.
places are only like 99.
I'll take you. Here's the crazy thing.
I would love to do hot yoga with Steve. Can we go?
Yeah,
Please?
let's go. I did like an all you could do because it was like $30 for one,
Yeah.
or $50 for all you can for 2 weeks. And I'm like, that way I can fully know if this is something I'll do again,
Yeah.
and it's only $20 extra. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll get in 2 full weeks or whatever. But dude, I went in. I like the sauna,
Yeah.
so I was like, sauna's $190.
Yeah.
Like this is nothing.
Yeah.
This is for ladies.
Yeah.
This is 105. Like no problemo.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. Like I'm wearing loose fitting clothes.
Yeah.
I'll sweat a little bit, stretch it out. I like to stretch.
Yeah.
You walked
It
in
feels
there.
good. I like doing
I
it.
walked in there, open the door, immediately see one of the most disgusting toes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
I mean,
What about it?
It looked like a Frito. It looked like a Ruffle with a Cheeto on top of
It was
it.
a Velociraptor claw.
It had. I mean, it looked like.
I was just seeing
No.
the scene from Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, they starts tapping more.
So here's what it
Morse
looked
code.
like.
Yeah.
Take your nail, pull it off with a pair of pliers,
Yikes.
let it fully heal,
Yeah.
and
Still
then
getting over the imagery, Steve. Give me
Yeah.
a moment.
and then take a take a dried kernel of corn, and just fucking hot glue it to the top of your toe.
Yikes.
And it was an old timer,
Mm.
and it was literally like rocked on. It was almost like the universe was assuring I will not pop wood,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that was kind of my concern. I was like, what if I pop a hard boner in here? That'd
No,
be
dude.
fucking
Not with
embarrassing.
fungus
Or
toe
fart,
over here.
Yeah.
because you're so close
Not
to
when
people.
somebody's got Last of Us toes.
And immediately, dude.
Last of Us toes.
It's a clicker.
Dude, there was some fungus growing on that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Spores.
And he talked to me. He was one of the first ones. He was like
He goes, hey,
It's a spore
you walked in. I want you to. I saw you notice my toe. I want to let you know it's not contagious. It's not curable. This will kill me one day.
This thing will do
Hey,
nothing. And it won't hurt you.
listen,
He goes,
Sporefoot.
look, I'm just trying to live as long as I can. I started doing hot yoga. I'm eating nothing but spinach. I'm living my best life. I just want to be around for my kids. It's spreading.
Listen, Sporefoot. I love the story, but I'm trying to get some yoga in here.
Dude, so I walked up to the counter. First of all, I think the lady, she looked like she could use a drink of water.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, she looks dehydrated.
Yeah.
Maybe she's in the heat way too much.
Yeah.
And there was a smell.
Yeah.
Did you have a little smell
From
in
the woman?
It's
in the
sweaty.
room?
Not from any but one person in particular, but yeah,
It's just
sweaty.
an
It's a
odor.
sweaty smell. Yeah.
There's
yeah.
an odor.
Yeah.
There. And you're like, this is. Oh,
Well,
this is gonna be kinda
it's a
gross.
room that 12 hours a day steams human beings.
Just like flocks of
yeah.
human beings.
It's like if the Nazis were health conscious.
It feels like Guantanamo Bay meets TikTok.
yeah.
When I was in there.
You're in a
I might
curing
bleep
rack.
that one out.
What'd you say?
I said it's like if the Nazis were health conscious. They're steaming.
It does have
That's not a funny thing to say.
No, it has a totalitarian
dare you.
aspect to it.
It's not the kind of thing we like to joke about here on Turnip and Stone.
That's kind of disgusting.
Inhale, exhale,
Lift your right leg.
and
Downward-
sit up, Scheiße! Sit up! Sit up! Hold buns! Squeeze your buns!
Downward facing Jewish dog.
This is a mindfulness exercise on top of being physical. This will clear your mind. And sit up! Squeeze buns!
It's not a white race. It's a right marathon.
Dude. Take time in your day to take a solitude inside of your mind. Be mindful. It was.
We're doing some blitz Kragels.
I was so like novice.
Make sure to take your Zyklon B12 vitamins.
I was so
So
novice. I was in the back, and dude, there's people that are like so good with the fucking movements that the lady's like, sit up, inhale, exhale, neck back. Like it's very like fast and they're like perfectly like.
Yeah, well, a lot of the places do the same routine every class, so
Yeah.
people start to memorize it.
I looked online
guess.
and it's kind of a common. It seems like they open with the same thing. They do a little stuff in the middle and then close with the same thing.
Yeah, it's like a headline inside.
And yeah, it was just
She
wild. She said your
after
first goal.
the set, she's talking to another yoga instructor. She's like, "Do you think the stuff about touching your toes is like hack?"
It had a kind of a. Well, have you seen Wild Wild Country?
Yeah,
I was like, I could totally understand why this
yeah. You get
guy
people to
was able to.
if you
just
get people
fuck
to like
chicks and
just.
ride Bentleys with this.
Well, this is my theory.
He was able to deploy
is that
it.
if you spend, let's say, 20 years telling people to like touch their toes, touch their knees, bend their bellies, and they do it every time, eventually you're gonna be like, wait a second, suck my dick. Hold on. Every time I tell them to do something.
Well, I mean, that's.
Whoa,
literally,
no, I was just kidding.
No,
literally
sorry, that was just
Vikram
a test.
That's literally Vikram Yoga. That's what that guy is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we're saying. This is hot yoga is just an offshoot of all that.
But that Vikram Yoga guy, he
Bikram.
wasn't wild. Bikram.
No, that's a different guy.
That's a different guy.
Oh, wait,
And
wait,
he
wait.
was doing yoga, and that he started as like a yoga meditation guy. And
Wild
then
Wild Country's a different thing. I
Yeah.
fucked that up.
No,
You're
but
right.
it's a similar. They
It's
did,
a similar
it was a
thing.
yoga. It was a yogi guy.
And he was fucking and
yeah,
sucking.
he was.
He had
Fucking-
he had Bentleys.
Fucking
They
and
all
fucking.
just like immediately like, money is nothing. Money means nothing. You don't need
You don't
money.
need money. Give me the money.
Give me
Look,
the
what-
Money means
let
nothing.
me ask you something.
Bentleys mean something.
Yeah.
That's not money.
I need money. You don't need money.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need money.
It's
I'm
a
the
pretty-
guru.
It's scary how easy some of the cells are. You know.
So, oh yeah. Well, I mean, there's something like in us that's like when someone's like the authority figure and has it dialed in, where like it's easy to just start being like, oh yes,
Oh, shit.
yes,
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
down."
yeah,
For a
yeah.
minute, I'm like, fuck this. I'm laying down.
Yeah.
I was so fucking hot. Like I caught myself in the pattern. I'm like, and I'm just like, I had to leave the room.
The idea of Steve being just, and he goes, "It's so fucking hot in here." It's
I'm
the
like,
middle of the-
whoa. Holy fuck! What are you doing up front?
Is it gonna be this hot the whole time?
I should have brought a fucking
Ah.
cooler.
Who's got Uncle Ben's in their snatch? It smells like somebody's got.
Holy fuck!
Someone making curry in the corner? Why does it smell like that?
Oh my god, it smells like somebody poured gravy on some alfalfa. What the fuck is going on in here?
Oh my god.
Dude,
Hey,
so I was like, she goes, your first goal. I was like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't, I kind of wanted to get the tips because I didn't want to fucking pass out or something.
Yeah.
And like, be careful, but play it at your own pace.
Yeah.
If you gotta leave the room, just leave the room. But they're not like checking. They're not checking to see like, you look all right. Like,
Yeah.
they're fucking on their grind. So I thought it was gonna be easy. I went in like 15, 20 minutes early. And I was in the hot room 20 minutes early.
Steve goes, look, I went in there. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I'm in there doing push-ups, sit-ups, burpees. I'm showing off.
So, like, I fucked up big time.
Class starts. I'm deadlifting 425 pounds.
10 minutes in, I'm soaked just from fucking stretching. And then I was like, I had to leave once. And
Yeah.
like, I was in the bathroom. Like, it was crazy.
That's
It was
wild.
Crazy. Yeah.
got
Couple
some.
of fellas walking up on
You guys
us.
got the audience coming in for the second half
Yeah,
of the pod?
yeah, we're about to take questions.
Okay, cool. Wait, are we doing questions? How do
Yeah,
we do the questions?
usually we do questions, but we've been flowing, so I didn't bring it
we've
up.
been in a flow state. I'm sorry to break the flow state.
No, dude, don't worry.
The introduction of human
This might
beings.
be
This is more fun.
this might be the Patreon app.
The Patreon
the
app?
first ever Patreon episode would just be because we've been going for. That's almost 42 minutes of
Yeah.
Guys, look at us.
no questions.
Nice.
Yeah.
We can
Having
cut it into
fun.
2
Just a couple
episodes.
guys, if you guys having fun on a rooftop
It's nothing
on
wrong
the
with
towers,
that.
Twin
Yeah.
Towers.
Twin Towers.
We're gonna start calling these the Twin Towers. Chicago's taking it back.
Yeah.
All
We
right,
had to
now.
move them inland a little bit.
We have a barrier of a few other buildings.
Yes, yeah,
They're
yeah.
not fucking with.
This
the
is going to
Twin
be a
Towers.
far more difficult.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Execution.
knock a few down to get to these two. Probably they're not even that tall.
You got to
compared
get
some of the
past
other ones.
Oprah's place.
Honestly, if you hit the Trump one, half of America will like you anyway.
Dude, the Trump Tower is sick as fuck.
It's a shiny, cool building.
Yeah.
That's not the Trump.
Yeah, it's
That
Trump
one
right
is-
over
Oh,
there.
that's a Trump.
That's
Yeah,
a Trump right there.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I thought you were pointing at the one with the hollow floors, and that's like one of the newer
I love.
ones.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's brand new. I love that.
You heard
one.
the story about that, right?
I think you mentioned it.
Could
to
be
me.
totally wrong. I
was
took
a
the
lady that-
architecture.
Yeah. By the way, it
that's
should
the
be noted,
first-
Steve is right, and my ass is pimpled as hell right now on this thing. You go. I'm gonna.
You want this?
Adjust. No, I got mine. You go,
The,
Eric.
the
I'm sorry to
architecture
interrupt.
tour didn't bring it up. Somebody told me that. So the flow through there. So that was this building. Those is the first female female-owned architecture firm to make this Chicago skyline.
Yeah.
And when they had to take those 2 floors out because the wind push was too much. And I don't think that was a design choice. I heard that was a mistake.
What kind of
Really?
anti-feminist forums did you?
There's some open mic comic just told me that.
I think I've heard that more than
That's so
once.
funny.
Yeah.
And
They couldn't account
I don't know
for
if it's
the
true or
wind.
not.
They didn't account for the wind properly, so they had to cut that flow through in there.
That's amazing.
Because you have to imagine that ideally those would be 2 more floors of $1 million rentals or whatever's
Yeah.
in there. You know what I mean?
Well, there was that story. It was some very iconic building, I think, in New York, where
Yeah.
like an architecture student was like running numbers or whatever. Like one of his big projects towards the end of the year was like running numbers on like the stability of like one of these famous buildings, and he found a flaw like by just doing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm probably wrong, so I'm gonna reach out to the firm
Yeah.
to confirm like, hey, how do you account for this? And they were like, we can't. This is wrong. It's like literally
Nice
a
catch.
potential if the
Chicago?
wind. I think it was in New York, and I'll look up the building while we move on to the next day. But they literally were like, okay, the building exists. It's like in work, but if the wind reached a certain speed, like the building would collapse. Like half of the building.
You know
would
what they do
collapse.
on the buildings around here,
Mm.
and I think that one is an example. It might actually be what looks like those top 2 floors where you
Yeah.
can see nobody's like living.
Yeah.
Some buildings around here, and I think that one actually, to go with the cut through, has
Counterbalances, like counterweights.
yeah, but the counterweights are water.
Yeah,
It's
I've-
giant pools of water, so that way if the building like shifts a foot to the left, the water will splash to the right and like center it.
They still do that. That's like a
Yeah.
modern.
yeah,
build
it's
them
like
in at the-
swishing your little sip of beer
yeah,
around
like
the top.
sucks.
man.
It's like a counter to suck the like kinetic energy out of the movement of the building.
That's so sick, dude. I like those buildings. I'll get these broads this. make things look pretty nice. A little woman's touch is nice for a fucking, skyline every once in a while.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that is crazy when you think of, like,
Those are beautiful buildings. There's 3 of them. There's that big one and 2 others that are small.
It is a very cool design.
Yeah.
When you think of, like, building errors, there's a building in, like, San Francisco or something, like a skyscraper like that.
Yeah.
Fucking huge, like 25 stories or something.
There's a weird error where there's just a giant swastika at the top.
No, they said it was like they designed it, they built it, and they sold like these $1 million condos in there.
Yeah.
And then it's settled. So the building is leaning. And like they did a 60 Minutes on it, and they're like, the owners were like, yeah, we bought this condo. This is our retirement condo. We wanted to downsize in something nice. They had money, they bought $1 million condo in this high rise.
Yeah.
Dude, he rolled a marble across the whole floor of the building. They said every year it's sinking, like they're measuring it with all these architects. It's sinking on one side like X amount of inches, like some crazy rate.
That's wild.
You can look it up. I think it's San Francisco. But they're like, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah, you should get your money back, right?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I don't know. There's like tons of litigation with it. There's tons of lawsuits with it because everyone's like,
how do you not win that?
Units.
Yeah, it's very funny. Like you drop the marble on the floor, it just rolls all the way down and out the window, and the guy's like, I don't know.
That's how good.
How do I know you guys didn't stamp real hard on the floor down there?
That's how good like corporate attorneys are.
Yeah.
And like corporate defense. It's like, you're gonna have to prove it, buddy.
You think I'm far enough for the marble test again?
Look, I'm looking at my wife. She's looking at my fucking feet, and she's across the room. I'm 13 feet taller than her. This building is sideways.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to look up so I can cite my sources here.
Which
It's
one?
the Citicorp Center engineering crisis in 1978.
Ah.
And yeah, architecture student from Princeton figured it out, and they had to then like secretly do like certain structural things to fix a problem. Yeah.
Do you like living high up? Chris lives high up.
I live high up. I mean,
Some would say
yeah.
like a bat or a bird.
Oh, no,
what's
you're
going
good.
on, my man? 20. There you go, sir.
Of course.
Go on,
yeah.
man.
Thank you.
Of course.
Give it up for our special guest.
Give it
Using
up for
my
our
hot
special-
yoga class on. He's a nice guy.
Nice, good. Rough feet. Nice guy.
Bad feet. Terrible feet. Great smile. Good guy.
Friendly
Kind.
guy.
Friendly guy. I like living high up. I mean, it's like anything else, man. It's a beautiful. I'm a kind of a city slicker, dude. I enjoy being in the city, and so when you're not in the country, so many of those views are really beautiful. There's only so many good views in a city,
Yeah.
and so it's
very
not
true.
one of the ways you can get kind of a beautiful view in your living situation is being kind of high up. I am moving though. I'm only here for like 2 more months. I'm going to be going to a different.
You're about to go to a
Lowlands?
fuck palace in a warehouse.
I am about to
somewhere
go
in
to.
the
I'm
West
going
Loop.
to a gentrified. I can't bring black people there because they'll be mad at me building. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, were you bringing a lot of black people over before?
Listen, Eric, I'll let you know.
It's really hampering
I'm
my cool
current-
factor.
I'll tell you one thing. I am working currently on a creative project where a black person is sitting on a throne and has a lioness next to him. So you know what? He needs to come over sometimes.
Do you feel like a bird?
I feel like a bird. I feel
living in here? High up?
The wind changed direction.
the
Do you
wind-
feel like
the
you can
wind's on
relate
us.
to a bird more?
The wind's not liking this kind of conversation. They were loving the riffs about hot yoga, dude.
See, if it keeps getting bad, when we switch to questions, we can pause and move to the other behind the wall.
Clockwise with the sun.
Yeah.
How's it sounding?
We're just getting a lot of wind now.
Okay.
The
That's
wind
good you
up-
got the cans on to monitor
Yeah.
the wind factor.
Yeah, it was weird taking him off when he came over because it was. I realized I'm hearing it different than you guys are. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said when I had him on, I go, "Can you hear me?" Because I have a tendency with headphones
Yeah.
to whisper when I'm talking.
Hey, everybody. Yeah.
And you feel like you're getting your point across.
Yeah.
But
I like living up here. I think it's fun temporary.
yeah,
It's fun for a little bit.
It's not where you want to. Yeah.
It's like anything. Yeah.
You don't want to be 60 years old
up here in the treehouse,
in the.
hanging out. Chris, I don't know what you're doing up there in the treehouse downtown, hanging out
in the eagle's nest.
in the eagle's nest.
Yeah, I'm hanging on the helipad up here, and it's nice. I mean, it's fun. It's cool to be up here. It's nice socially to be able to bring people and be like, hey, let's have a party and have a nice view and like that's.
Do you think there's
fun.
benefits to having a view
Um,
aside from it looking nice?
like what kind of benefits?
Like, do you
think?
see, like, you know what? A view makes me really consider things deeper because I'm looking further out.
No, what makes me consider things
Some people don't
deeply
like
is
view.
when I have the lack of like when I'm in a basement with no
Really?
money and there's roaches on all of my fucking plates. That's when I really start to reevaluate.
That's when you dig
decisions.
deeper.
You to put on an Ozzy Osbourne record.
That's when I pull out the fucking B-sides of AC/DC and
The-
really start thinking about what I could do.
In the shadows.
No,
Do you like views?
Yeah.
he's a
Who
view
doesn't
guy.
like views?
I don't know. Is it a universal
He's asking.
thing
I'm trying to be nice. These questions are very funny. Do you like a view? Do you
By
think
definition,
it's nice?
isn't it called a view because it's good?
No. No.
Yes. It's called a view because
by
it's good.
definition, no,
Yes.
absolutely. The word view?
Yes.
You're out of your mind.
No, a view, the noun. He's got an apartment with a view. You don't
That
say
doesn't.
that
It
about-
only means positive.
Nobody takes you to a
Yeah.
basement apartment and goes, it has a view.
Yeah, it's
Technically,
te-
there's
yeah,
a view.
It's technically a view, but I had a view of my two apartments ago. I had a view of just a bunch of other people's other apartments, and it smelled like piss. It was a view.
It is a view.
It was
That's what I'm saying.
technically a view.
Right, that's my point.
But that's not what people say
not
when they
all-
mean
it's not-
a capital V, a view.
it doesn't matter what they mean.
It does. That's what we're debating. is
You know what?
they
I
mean.
To me,
agree.
it could mean
You know what,
anything.
Eric? I agree with Steve. Nothing means anything. It doesn't matter.
We got postmodernist Steve over here.
Well, I mean,
72.
you're getting-
This is 72 gender Steve taking a stand.
You're getting into the.
And you
theory
better
of-
like the view.
He goes, "What do you mean? Penis? Penis? It can be on anything."
You're getting it. No, you're saying a view is only a positive.
Well, I'm saying if
That's
somebody,
how
if somebody
people
says,
usually use
Okay,
it.
yes,
yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I disagree with. I
It's like
disagree
arguing
with.
with my girlfriend. Okay, all right. Well, now I agree
If you
with
put it that way.
That's fine.
I disagree with the former statement.
Now that you've clarified,
Now that you've been better at this argument than
Then we
I
can
have,
move on.
I now agree.
that's a great girlfriend line.
Yeah.
It's like now that
No
you,
way.
What?
No way. I think I won that one.
That's also a girlfriend opinion.
You lost. I won. It's like that when he
No.
plays cards in Big Daddy. I got a 4, a 7, a 9, a 12. I win. What's the name of that game? It's called I Win.
Well, guys, I think we got to circle around the. I'm picking up way too much blast here.
Poseidon's not happy
Pause
with our
for the
conversation.
cause.
We're gonna pause. We'll
Dude,
take.
just get a
we're-
shot of walk
Hey.
around of the fucking.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna take your questions on the other side, everybody. We'll be right back.